But we got Uncle Lou on here. It's a good time talking college football. So, and I appreciate you not even taking me to the stake for Dan Mullen. I was waiting for that.
Oh no, I know that's your boy.
That is see. Here's my quick take on Dan Mullen. I defended Dan Mullen going into this season. I just thought he's quirky. I don't necessarily want him coaching my team. He's quirky, says some stupid things, but it's all pretty harmless. This season, he went over the edge.
Yeah.
In my book.
Yeah. Well,
and to your point about recruiting,
with what you said isn't that you thought he was a good coach or a great coach or whatever. Was that you said I thought he was better than Kirby Smart, and I thought that was ridiculous then, and I think it's ridiculous now. I'm a biased Georgia fan, but people can tell me till they're blue in the face, oh, Kirby inherited a loaded team. Yeah, but these are the same people that have been telling me that Georgia has been garbage for 30 years, but somehow Kirby inherited a loaded team. But nevertheless, I guess, college football has been around how long? 140 years now? Kirby must be the luckiest guy alive, because if anybody wants to post any coach you can think of, post their record, their first 5 years in the Power Five, and then post Kirby's, I'll be happy to. I'd be happy to look at it with you, including Dan Mullen or whoever else you want to post. Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Bear Bryant, General Nealon. Post whoever you want their first 5 years of Kirby's, and we'll look at it, and then I can watch all of you dance yourselves into the corner of a circular room when you go back to, oh, well, Kirby inherited a loaded team. Like, Kirby's the only coach in history who ever inherited a team with any talent on it. That's why he averages 11 wins a year over the course of his career, and has done more in 5 years than most coaches will do in a lifetime. Not because he's a good coach.
It is pretty impressive to see what Mark Richt, I know it's been a long time ago, but to see the beginning of his tenure at Georgia, because Georgia football wasn't in a great place. It wasn't bad. It wasn't awful, but there were a lot of 7 and 5s before Mark Richt showed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Donnan did win 10 one year, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Yeah. Donnan's now Goff was the low point. Goff was
5 and 6 year.
Now, he came after Vince Dooley, and Vince Dooley's not Nick Saban. He's not Bear Bryant. He's not General Nealon. He's not on the Mount Rushmore like that. But he was a great college coach, Vince Dooley was. He won the SEC there 3 years in a row from 80 to 82, and Bama still had Bear Bryant then. It's not like Dooley was busy winning the SEC when there was nobody else around. Bear Bryant was at Alabama in 80. He was at Alabama in 81. He was at Alabama in 82. Vince Dooley won the SEC all 3 of those years, won a national title, 1 game away from winning a national title in 81 and 82. So it was a great coach. He was a great coach. And you don't, historically, you don't want to be the guy that comes after a guy like that. Look at Florida after, or Alabama after almost any national title coach they've ever had. You don't want to be that guy. So Goff was bad. Donnan started to turn it around, though. He had a couple of pretty good seasons, and more than anything else, he recruited a different kind of player than what Goff was recruiting. A lot of the success that Richt had, particularly in 2002. Well, in 2002, those were all Donnan players, every single one of them. Because that was Richt's first or second year, whatever it was. Yeah. Donnan beat Tennessee in one of the most historic Georgia home games of all time. They had beat us something like 10 straight or something like that. It's the only time the goalposts have ever come down at Sanford Stadium. Uncle Lou was there. Ran out on the field, hanging from the goalpost, the whole thing. Gave Carter a high five right at the 50-yard line. That was a sight to see. That was something to be a part of. You see it on TV. We've all seen it on TV a million times, whether it's the football field or the basketball court, whatever it is, when the people rush the thing. That was something to be a part of. That was something. I'll take that memory with me if I live to be 500 years old. I wouldn't do it now. Obviously, I'm 40-something years old. This was 2000 when this happened. I was, how old was I? 22. So, what an experience. It was amazing. People were walking out of that stadium. You've heard the expression about when you stay in a hotel, people will steal anything that's not nailed down.
Sure.
They walked out of that stadium with everything except the grass. I saw people walking out with the benches that the players sit on, Gatorade coolers, the uprights, of course, were in 4 or 5 different pieces each. I saw people marching down the main street in downtown Athens with a big field goal thing. There's about 10 of them in a row, a big field goal thing over their shoulders. And somebody from the Georgia band was right behind them playing the dun, 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 marching down the street in downtown Athens at 2:30 in the morning. It's unbelievable. So he started to turn it around, but clearly Mark Richt took it to another level. And I get the comparisons between Rick's first 4 or 5 years, whatever they post all the time, and Kirby's. What a huge compliment that is to Kirby. You know, I don't know that anybody could say anything nicer or a better or more of a compliment to Kirby than that. Mark Richt wasn't fired for what he did in his first 5 years in Athens. He was fired for what he did his last 10 years, which was nothing. So if Kirby goes 10 years without winning the SEC, guess what? He'll be out of a job, just like Mark Richt was. Mark Richt was not fired because he won the SEC twice in his first 5 years there. And, you know, that's not why he was fired. He was fired because he didn't win the SEC in his last 10 years there. That's why he was fired. So if Kirby Smart has a record like Mark Richt's last 5 years, then you can start asking me if I think Kirby's on the hot seat. But to say that, oh, ha, 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 Kirby has a similar record to Mark Richt his first 5 years, ha, ha, what a compliment. Great compliment. You can't name 5 coaches that had a better first 5 years than Kirby Smart and Mark Richt. Lincoln Riley, Ryan Day, Bob Stoops. There's no one else on the list. Who is it? I mean, I'm willing to learn something here today. If somebody can tell me who had a better first 5 years than Kirby, Mark Richt, Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley, and Ryan Day's only been there now 3 years. But if someone can tell me, I'm willing to listen.
It's only 2 years for Ryan Day.
2 years, yeah. And he's done a little bit more than Kirby has done. Ryan Day's got 2 conference titles and a playoff win. Kirby's got 1 conference title and a playoff win.
So even though we had
Riley's got a bunch of conference titles and no playoff wins.
Even though we had a rough first year at I think 5-6 or 6-6, 6-6, I'm going to throw out Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, at Southern Cal.
Yeah, that would have been 01 to 0.
He was in the NFL and came to Southern Cal and then back to the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah. Where was he at? New England?
The Jets and the Patriots.
Jets and Patriots. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. What a terrible list to be on. Kirby, Mark Richt, Pete Carroll, Bob Stoops, Lincoln Riley, and Ryan Day. Man, when are they going to fire Kirby already?
That is pretty much it right there.
Yeah.
Got Uncle Lou on the line. Good discussion here. I'd love to stay on the Georgia beat here for a minute because you've got to defend this almost every day.
Look at him go.
Oh, yep. They're going to get to it here, I'm sure. I'm not going to be able to keep track. You got to hear about 1980 all the time.